Welcome to Modern Femme-ily with your host and resident lesbian, Cassie. Join her and our resident LGBTQIA plus ally, Molly, as they talk to women of all walks of life to discuss everyday matters of a woman's world. Join these lovely beauties every Friday at 8 p.m. to talk about hot topics, sensitive topics, but most of all, the real topics.
Hello, my awesome humans. How are you? It's been ages. It's really only been 6 days, but we're so excited that you are all here tonight. I'm Cassie, your resident lesbian here on Modern Femme-ily, and we are so glad to have you. Tonight is a very special night. So I'm going to get through our intro real quick. We're going to flash up all of our social media and all that fun stuff, and we cannot wait to bring our guest on. So now is your chance to grab your favorite cocktail or mocktail because we are an adult show. We may look like ladies, but some of our favorite words are 4 little letters. So grab that drink, lock those kiddos in the bathroom, or better yet, lock yourself in the bathroom and join us for the next hour while we chat about something that is very near and dear to my heart tonight and this month especially. So I'm going to bring Molly out so we can bring our lovely guest to us with us as well. So we're off to a great start. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hi, Molly.
Okay, first off, I want to point out when you're like, "Oh, it's been such a long time." I literally was like, "Has it? Did I miss something? What?" Because then, I got all confused. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
And then also, again, I'm eating edamame. Whatever, I'm on like a kick, so get over it. But then
I meant to order dinner and I forgot. So pizza rolls it is afterwards.
Right? I told Charlie he went out with a friend tonight, and I was like, I'm ordering food and I'm getting edamame. And he's like, you get it all the time. Whatever. I love it. So
judge me, fight me.
But during the intro, I dropped a piece on the floor, so it like jumped out of its casing.
Well, at least it's not peeing on your foot this episode.
Oh my gosh, that's weird. I totally forgot about that. Oh my gosh. When the condensation and it dripped through the cracks on my desk. How crazy.
Literally, I cannot tell you, like, Reese and I talked about that after the show, and I, again, almost pissed myself because it was so funny, and I was laughing so hard. There's something happening!
Because I felt it. I felt, like, the drip, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna let it go. It's not gonna creep me out. And then it, like, happened again and again. I was like, I gotta figure out what's happening. I can't let this go.
Something's happening. I can't do this. All right, everybody. I want to go through our socials real quick so you know where you can find us. Aside from Facebook, of course. But you can check us out on our network, WLFE-DB.com. Their Facebook, you can find us there on their WLFE DB radio and their LGBTQIA plus network, which we fall under all of those categories. So you can find us there. You can also find us on our Facebook and our Instagram and our YouTube channel, Modern Femme-ily. It's all the same except our Instagram, there's no dash between the E and the I. So make sure you check us out there. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because how are you going to know the craziness that's coming if you don't do those things?
The craziness of us, dude. And I'm going to let you introduce the guest, so I'm not going to say anything about it, but I do want to say this little thing. So we know that today and this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
And like I pride myself on that this show is like telling stories about women and their stories, right? And there's different walks of life and things happening. And so I'm like really excited to hear about this guest's journey. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. And like I said, this this month I hold near and dear to my heart, and not just because that's where my boobs are,
Right.
but you know, it affects. I don't even know what the statistics are, and I'm not going to throw out a random number, but it has affected so many people in my life personally, and we got to check. You got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure that you're taking the steps. Unfortunately, both sides of my family is riddled with cancer.
Right.
My wife, hers is the same way. So, they say, fill yourself up. Make sure you're good.
Right.
Like
Any chance I get, girl, I'll feel myself up.
Right? You gotta give yourself a little love every once in a while, But
yeah.
So yes, this month is super important, and I mean it is every month, but this is the month that we focus on.
Yeah.
So I would say bring in our guest, but she's standing in the corner.
Let's have her sit down.
So let's have her sit down. Come on over, Mom.
Yay!
Hi, everyone.
She is not new to the show. She's done a couple shows with us.
I feel like she's the go-to when I'm like, hey, Cassie, I can't make it tonight. And you're like, okay, Mom, come on.
Right. I mean, she is kind of my go-to because I'm like, let's eat a bunch of junk food for eat an extra dessert day and just talk.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say today, it's nobody's birthday that I'm aware of, right?
No.
Okay. Because the other 2 episodes she has done with us was first my sister's birthday.
Oh.
And then, or no, it was my stepfather's birthday and then my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm like, I need to borrow her, please.
Right.
But yes, so going back to the breast cancer awareness month, it's October is spooky season, and we are obsessed with spooky season. However, we wanted to split this month up because it is, so important to us and so near and dear. So you can see, I mean, team, and it says Team Kimmy. I'm too short. I can't. But this was the shirt that I wore through most of, her treatment. Of course, I washed it and I changed. I didn't wear it every day, but this was my go-to.
Sports people don't wash their stuff because they're like whatever.
I know, like Lucky socks or Lucky underwear,
or like jerseys.
Well, that's gross.
I know, right? It's disgusting. No. But yeah, we were, Team Kimmy the whole way.
Yeah.
Like we had her back. But so I want to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And preface this with, you may want to have tissues handy. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster. My eyeliner and my mascara are not waterproof, so let's hope I don't look spooky by the end of the show.
I was going to say, neither are mine, and I'm going to look like an 80s rock star singer, just like black running down.
Yeah. So, and I did not spray my face with anything tonight, so who knows how this is going to look afterwards. But yeah, so Mom, I want you to start us out from the very beginning, essentially. Like, how did all this come about?
Well,
I mean, how did you find out too? Like, that's what I'm interested
I go
in.
for my yearly checkups.
Yeah.
I'm very adamant about having everything checked out yearly. So of course I went for my mammogram, and you have to wait for the results. And I won't forget the day because they had my work number. And they called me on the work number and they asked me if I had a few minutes, and I said yes. So I stepped outside and I was sitting in my car talking on the phone with them, and they told me I had breast cancer. So of course I'm crying.
I can't believe they told you over the phone.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason they told me over the phone was because they wanted me to get things rolling.
Right.
They probably just didn't have the time to bring me in the office
to
or whatever.
schedule you and
Right.
So I got off the phone with them. I took the phone back inside because it was the office phone, so I didn't want to hold it up. And I said to the girls in there, I said, I need a few minutes. I set the phone down. I turned around and walked right back outside. And cried for a while, and then straightened myself out and went back to work. So of course everybody at work knew.
You went back to work the same day that you found out, and finished the work day.
Yes.
Girl, you're tough. I would have been like, I'm out for like a week. Let me process this.
I ran for the hills.
Nope.
Wow.
I called the family, had them come to the house that night. Told everybody at one time, I'm
Well,
sure.
And let me just preface it. I was at work when she called me, and I knew something wasn't right.
Right.
I
And
was
I'm
like,
sure
something's wrong.
everybody knew there was something wrong because, you know.
Right. Oh.
And Reese, we were dating at this time, and she was at work, and she had honestly just gotten to work like a couple hours before that. And I
Mhm.
called her and I said, you got to leave. Like, I'm leaving work. I need you to get out, and I'm going to pick you up. Something's wrong. We have to go to mom's. And she told her boss, like, I don't know what's going on. There's some sort of family emergency. I've got to go. And yeah, so.
So, you know, then of course I told everyone together. We
Mhm.
cried, you know, and cried some more. And then I'm like, look, we're going to get through this.
Right.
You know, I'm not giving up. I'm a fighter, and honestly, I think I've been through worse. You know, I said that's the way I felt. It's like, I'll get through this. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Yep.
Do you remember what exactly like form of breast cancer you had?
No.
With
You're like,
stage
who
was it?
cares?
Do you
I
remember?
beat it. That's all that counts.
Right.
That was stage 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stage 2. I don't remember the long technical name.
I mean, honestly, I probably have it written down somewhere, but I don't.
Oh yeah,
remember
I
what it
all
was.
the paperwork that I have gotten. I know that word is in there somewhere.
Right.
But I scheduled. I had to have a lumpectomy. Went in and had that done.
And what is that?
I was
They
gonna say,
removed-
for those of like who might not know what that is, can you
Yeah.
explain
Right.
what that is?
they removed the lump of cancer from my breast and tissue around it to make sure
Okay.
that they have gotten all the cancer out. And they
Yeah.
did. But I still had to go through 16 rounds. Was it 16 rounds?
Yes.
Yeah, 16 rounds of chemo.
Okay.
And I think probably after my lumpectomy, it might have been a couple weeks, maybe a month later.
Well, because you also had a port put in.
Yes, I had to have a port put in, which
And that was put in for what?
they used that for, like, because when I would go up for my treatments, they had to draw your blood
Yeah.
to make sure your counts and everything were where they
Right.
were supposed to, so they knew you
Mhm.
were healthy enough to have your treatment.
Yeah.
And if they would have had to, or they used that to put the medication into me.
To
through the
administer.
treatment.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I
Yes.
didn't want to say
Yeah,
anything.
and that
Yeah,
saved
okay.
me from getting an IV every
Every
week.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw this out there because you've been through enough surgeries and,
Yes.
and that kind of thing. Your veins suck.
Yeah, they're little, and I have a lot of scar
I know.
tissue in my arms from different
Different
IVs
stuff.
and things.
Damn.
Yeah. So that port, now I did have to go in, and that was like a surgery type thing because I had to be put under to put this
Yeah.
port in. It was right here,
Yeah.
right here on my
And so
chest.
do you have a little scar on
Yeah, I
there?
do have a little scar right in
Just
here.
a little one.
Yeah.
Battle scar.
Exactly.
And I was grateful to have that in because, like I said, I wasn't getting stuck with a needle every week.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so when they used that to do my treatments, you know, any other type of medications that they had to give me the day of treatments, and really it didn't hurt, it didn't bother me. I mean, I knew it was there, of course, you know, but
I think the weirdest thing is like if you wore a low cut t-shirt or a tank top, you could actually see it.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
to me it looked almost like a heart.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh,
Because
really?
it was like raised. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't like flat in under my skin. It was like raised my skin, and it looked almost like the shape of a heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yep.
No, you also had a thingy on your arm. I remember that because I was always afraid, like if I gave you a hug
Mhm.
or if like I bumped you, that I would like knock it off.
Mhm. That was for the medication that you need, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the names of these medications. The medication that you needed for the day after your treatment.
Okay. And
I don't know if you've seen commercials where it says, you know, have this on your arm and relax at home the next day instead of having to go back to the hospital for this medication.
Okay.
That's what that was for. And it was an automatic thing that they, like within 24 hours, this thing would click.
Yeah, okay.
And that medicine would go into my system. I want to say it took 8 hours.
Like a
Oh, okay.
slow release.
Yes, it was a slow release of things, but then it would turn green, I want to say. Red when it was running and green when it was done.
Yep.
And then I just took it off.
Can we talk about for just like a hot second, like what science is today? You literally had like medication like attached to your arm that was like self-administered.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
it's like,
No.
I know today I'm giving you some medicine. Here you go. 8 hours later,
Yeah.
you're done. What?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And like going
insane.
about business like everything's normal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, normal. I use that term loosely because
Loosely,
Yeah.
right. What
But-
is normal?
right. Now, that medication, if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, was to help with nausea.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I thought that's what it was, but I couldn't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure it was. I
I
was
think
on
it was.
other medications also for nausea
Yeah.
and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
steroids.
Oh, I love you to death, but I can tell everybody this. My mother is crazy on steroids. Like anybody is crazy on steroids.
Yeah.
But she has, well, you're in remission now
Yes.
from
Mhm.
cancer, but also an autoimmune disease. And most of my childhood, she was on steroids.
Oh man.
And I came home one day. She was
Cool.
from school, and she was standing on the kitchen counter with everything from the cabinets out of the cabinets. I went to my room and shut the door because I was like, you're not coming in here.
I'm not. I'm
Told her,
gonna
I
let
said,
you
better
do you
clean your
today.
room. I'm going in there next.
Nope. But like,
Oh goodness.
I mean, they make people crazy. So on top of chemo and your other medications, and you were on steroids, like, I mean, I don't know how you did it.
You just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I know Molly, you said about, you would have went home that day.
Yeah.
I worked through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I missed the days of my chemo treatment.
Right.
Which I always tried to do them, which I did on a Wednesday because it's only a half a day at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was maybe a handful of times, so that's maybe 5 times throughout the whole process of where I went to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like I said to the girls and my boss, I can't, I'm so exhausted. I just got to go home. I go home and sleep for the day, and I was fine the next day at
You're
work.
fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that with my COVID vaccine. Like,
Right.
like crazy.
But I mean, I had a great family and friends support group. If I needed something, someone was there for it. Even my coworkers and my boss, they'd come out into the office and say, "All right, Kim, do you need us to get anything? Do you need us?" I work in a medical office. Do you need us to pull charts? Do you need anything? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Da 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 da. But I think that helped me.
Right.
I kept my mind busy.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting home dwelling on this.
Right.
And to me, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can and it does affect everybody differently. So I'm not, I don't want to put anyone down who can't work. Everybody reacts differently to different situations.
Right.
But I was grateful that I was able to work.
Right.
I kept myself busy.
Right.
I didn't let my mind go to that dark place.
Right.
Right. Well, and I'm sure everybody has a different reaction to chemo as well. Some have it more severe, some have it less. So, I mean, that's with any medication, everything.
Yeah.
React to it differently, but dang. So how did you process that? Like, did you like go and like break some plates, or like what was your mental capacity on when you were going through all of this?
I might have had a short period of time that I was thinking, why me? I've been through enough already in my life.
Yeah.
I don't need this too. But then something kicked in, and I'm like, you know what? you have been through a lot in your life and you've come out of that okay. You're
Right.
going to come out of this okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was my mindset. I had a positive mindset. And to me, sometimes that's half the battle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's,
You know,
yeah, a lot
if
of
you
it.
can
Absolutely.
keep a positive outlook when you're going through something traumatic or, medically wise, if you can keep that positive outlook, that's going to get you through it.
Right.
Absolutely. And what
Well-
helped you keep that positive outlook? Was it just like your determination, or was it like other thing? Like,
Probably,
yeah,
because when we lost Cassie's dad, people made the comment that I've never been on my own, which I have not been. I got married out of high school,
yeah,
and then I lived with Henry, so I never lived on my own. And people made the comment that, oh, she's got to move back home. She's never been on her own. She's not, I heard that. I'm like, BS. I proved them wrong then, and I
Right.
wanted to prove everybody wrong again. So that kind of clicked in the back of my mind again.
yeah.
You've got to prove these people that you can do it.
Right, right.
I think that's where my mind went. And of course, I had my family that I still want to be here for,
Right.
and again, that kicked in, and
you kicked ass.
Yeah,
The
sure did.
tenacity of what, like, we women are strong as vaginas. Let's just say that.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the things that, like, you mentioned before a little bit that you've been through, and just the stubbornness, I want to say, of like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do what you think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna succeed is what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah. Shoot, dang.
Well, and I will say, so you said like you had, your moment in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
when you were, down and you were, why me?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we came out to your house, and I'm not even sure how many bottles of wine we drank that night.
I don't know. Probably don't remember.
It was a lot. And, she had her pity party, as we called it. And the next day she woke up hungover AF.
Mm-hmm.
And she picked herself up by the bootstraps and she was like, all right, let's kick cancer's ass today.
Well, I think that's important. I think you got, having that camaraderie, as mother-daughter, and then having this like traumatic thing happen, and you get together and you just kind of have that pity party together, have a night, add some alcohol to it to make it fun, and then the next day wake up and kick its ass. Like, what else can you do? I think that's really cool. Sorry.
Yeah. No, and I mean, honestly, it's not the first time we've done something like that.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, all right, we're gonna feel sorry for ourselves for the night and get hammered and cry and laugh and do stupid things, and then the next day be hungover as hell. But you just come to that realization of, okay, I have to feel sorry for myself for a moment, and now I'm okay.
Well, and I feel like it's almost like a release.
Yeah.
Like you're allowing it to affect you and letting it go.
Right.
You know?
Well, I was actually having a conversation with somebody that I've recently met, and her mom is going through some of this very same stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just don't know how to handle it. Like, I don't know what to do for her. I don't know how to help her. And I said, honestly, you know what I did personally? Like, when I found out, of course, she's cracking another one. When I found out, of course, I was with family because we were all told at the same time.
Right.
And, of course, I, cried a little bit, and I got in my car to leave, and I lost my shit. Like, sobbed in the driveway. And from that point on, I was like, all right, mom's going to kick cancer's ass. I'm going to stay strong for her. And of course, there were nights where you're like, I don't feel well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ugh, why? Like, and I, of course, felt bad because I couldn't do anything to help her. I couldn't change it.
Well, like, you couldn't cure it. Like, like, you want to be
Right.
there and help as any way you can, but it's like, you can't help where you feel like it counts.
Right, exactly. And, I've said, like, a positive outlook, even in the darkest times, is like a beacon of light.
Right.
Like, so even when you don't want to feel positive, you don't want to be happy, and you just want to be like, this sucks. Life is not fair. Like, you have to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to smile, and we're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
and
crying already. We're going to be at the half hour mark.
Girl, we don't even have a break, so get it together.
Right, yeah. Buckle up, everybody. We don't have any commercials tonight. We're updating everything, and, well, we don't have a commercial, so we might have to take a quick potty break, but we'll let you know how that goes.
We'll let you know if you have to visualize your favorite commercial.
Right. We'll play our intro twice. I don't, so we can run through the potty. So yeah, I'm gonna actually show a picture of like the best day of this whole scenario.
Yeah.
Because this was the last chemo treatment that you had. And the reason that I want to say it is because, or I wanted to show it, excuse me. My sister and I, she's in the picture. If you're looking at it on the right-hand side, because my stepfather is behind with Reese and I. We both made, signs for the day. And one of them says 1 lump, 2 lymph nodes, 16 rounds of chemo, and being a survivor is priceless. Last chemo. So, and then the other sign says we can't keep calm. It's our mom's last chemo or last dose of chemo. Mm-hmm. And then the one that Reese is holding says you never fight alone. And it was just, random pictures and inspirational quotes. And, it literally shows that it took an army. You never want someone to go through something like that on their own. And, it was a great day. That day was.
Well, it's times like this where you're super appreciative of the community that you've built around yourself.
Right.
Because that's your community. Those are the people that are going to be there for you thick and thin. Yeah. And just to have that is such a privilege.
Yep. Well, and, you said community, like, we live in a very small town in north central Pennsylvania. And so the picture that's up on the screen now is my mom and I. We actually did a benefit, of course, to help with, bills and hospital things. And this was that day. I said earlier, this was an early day. Yeah. We were at
Cassie doesn't get up early.
No, it's weird. I do now. Like,
neither does Molly. I mean,
I'll be up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and I'm like, sleep in. What are you doing?
Where's my off button?
Right, exactly. But at this point, I was working later, and I've never been a morning person. So I was at the venue that we had this benefit. I think it was like 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. It wasn't a fun day. I mean, it was a great day, but I was not happy, and I'm pretty sure I did make up in the kitchen of the venue. But so you can kind of see in the background of the picture, there's like a U-shaped bar in this establishment. And we had so many raffle baskets that we couldn't fit anymore on this bar. Like, to the point where we had to move things to tables on the outside of this U-shaped bar. Yeah. And like you said, like a community that you build, like that is key.
It is. It really is.
And I'm going to throw this out there just because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Someone actually donated Luke Bryant tickets. Yeah. That we raffled off.
What? That was from our local radio station.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, local radio station donated these tickets. I think there were other concert tickets too. But like, and the person who won was actually going to take Mom, but it fell on a day of your treatment.
No.
Or a day after?
I think it was. Nope, it was a day after. Or that was when I caught like a slight cold, and
I think that's what it was.
and
Yeah.
it was rainy that weekend and the concert was outside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but like you said, like you really have to, if you're able to, and because we
Yeah.
live in such a small town in north central Pennsylvania, like there were people there that I haven't seen since I was in high school.
Yeah.
You know, and there were people there that I work with that
Well, I feel
don't
like it, like,
even know mom.
It restores your faith in humanity when like
Yeah.
things like this happen, when something so like traumatic happens and it's devastating, and then you have all these people come out and they're helping you and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever, and
Yeah.
oh that's right, oh my gosh, I know you from like way back when, and they're here to help and support in whatever way they can. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to throw out there, this was back in 2017.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, just clicked.
In 2017, you were diagnosed.
Mhm.
And when were you done? Because you did radiation after chemo.
Yes.
So you had 16 rounds of chemo.
Yes.
How many, like, what was radiation? Like, I don't even know how to explain
I think I had to wait like 2 or 3 weeks after my last chemo treatment. And I did, was it a month of radiation treatment? But that was 5 days a week.
That's crazy.
5 days a week. I had to drive to the hospital. Took me longer to get to the hospital than it did for the actual treatment.
Well, yeah, because let's be real. Like, I say I live in a small town. Like, Molly lives about 20 minutes east of me in a bigger town. Yep. You live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I do.
Yeah.
I would leave work and go back to work after my treatment.
Yeah.
I would leave to go to my treatment. And and I tried to do it like roughly my lunch break. I tried not to miss any more work than I had to.
Right.
But yeah, it took me longer to drive there than it did to have the actual treatment.
Wow.
I think it was a month.
I think it was a month because it was every single day.
Yes.
So you had 20-ish
I think
rounds
that's
of
what it was,
radiation.
Yeah. So how long is 16 rounds of chemo? Like from
chemo
start to
was
finish?
Once a week.
Once a week. So it's 16 weeks.
Yes.
Your first 4 were every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Because they were very strong.
Yeah.
The first 4, yes, were very strong. Then after that, it was, like I said, once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was a total of like 24 weeks, roughly.
Yeah.
Because
From
that
start to
goes
finish.
twice a week or every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And so in the beginning, because they were so strong, of course, one of the most traumatizing, I think, parts of cancer, especially being a woman, we identify a lot of people by their hair.
Yeah.
That's, the standard of beauty and, how you're identified as feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that's a stupid standard. I
Absolutely.
think it's absolutely asinine. But, when
it doesn't mean we
diagnosed,
still don't feel it,
Right.
So.
Yep. But when you're diagnosed, or I can only imagine, like when you're diagnosed with cancer, like your first question is, am I going to lose my hair?
Yeah. Or when.
Yeah. Because I know some people who didn't.
Right.
Or haven't lost their hair. And I know people who their first treatment, it was falling out in clumps.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us your story on that.
Well, I had long hair. It was about the middle of my back, long.
Yeah.
When I was diagnosed, I think maybe even before I started my first treatment, I decided to cut my hair a little shorter, about shoulder length, just because I knew it was going to fall out. And I thought, okay, that's kind of like, because at that point, nobody knew but family that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I thought, well, let's just, cut it a little short, I just wanted to change, Because I guess I wasn't ready to put it out there for everybody yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very personal thing.
It is. So I just cut it short. And I was probably into, I think, maybe my 4th treatment. I noticed it was really coming out pretty strong.
Yeah.
You know, wash my hair, or I'd wake up in the morning, it's on my pillowcase, you know, things like that. So I called the 2 girls, my sister, my mom. Chuck was there too. We did it at my house. Everybody came out, and out on my front porch, he shaved my head.
Yep.
And I didn't really have a problem with that. I think because I was in control of it, more or less.
I was gonna say,
Right.
you took the power back.
Yes. It's like, okay, now we're going to shave my head.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't going to let it come out in clumps and then just go around with, you know, a bald spot here or here, you know, whatever.
Right.
Because I think that would draw more attention
Yes.
than anything. People are like, what's wrong with your
Yes.
hair?
Yeah.
Right.
So we shaved it.
And she wouldn't let us shave ours.
Yeah. Cassie and Felicia wanted to shave their heads too. No.
Right.
And that's saying something, because me, I mean, I've had super short hair. I've had
Right.
super long hair. Like, it grows back. Like, I'm not picky about it. My sister, she gets a trim and she freaks out. Like,
Right.
She's not as bad as she used to.
she's not as bad as she used to be. But, like, my sister has always had super, super, super long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she was like, let's do it, I was like, who are you and where's my sister?
But
Right.
needless to say, I would not let them do that. I just, no. I appreciated the thought, but no.
Yeah.
Well, funny, Reese says, my head's shaved enough for all of us.
Right.
Maybe that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I took that power and I shaved, you know, well, I didn't shave it. The girls did. They took turns shaving my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wore a bandana.
Let's pop this picture.
Okay.
This was a normal
Mhm.
everyday look for you.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I wore a
During that
bandana.
time. Yeah.
Now, I did have a wig, and the wig that I got
Mhm.
was blonde hair, about shoulder length, I think. And funny, I didn't take notice to the name on the box at first.
Mhm.
I put it on, and I'm like, oh, this is it. I tried several of them on. I thought, oh, this is it. It looks more like the hairstyle I had, you know, just a little shorter version, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And Chuck was with me, and he goes, well, look at the name on the box. It was called Kimberly.
I
Yes.
mean,
perfect.
Yes.
right?
But I will honestly say, I wore the wig 2, maybe 3 times.
Because it wasn't many.
I felt more self-conscious with conscience. Am I saying that right?
Self-conscious.
Yeah.
There you go. With that wig on
Yeah.
than I did just the do-rags that I wore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I felt everyone can tell it's a wig. You know, it's not going to stay put. It's itchy. It's hot.
Well,
Of course, I was going through treatments in the summertime.
yeah.
So,
Ooh. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, summers are awful.
Yeah. So I only wore it a couple times, and
Yeah.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you wear it to like one of Chuck's like company
yes,
parties, and you took it off halfway through the night because it was itchy and hot, and you were
Yes.
done?
Yes.
Yeah.
I put a bandana on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is gonna sound really weird, Molly. You'll understand because you do hair.
Mm-hmm.
You have the perfect shaped head to have a shaved head. Like,
Yeah, right.
like they're, you know, and I'm not saying like that to be mean. Like, you want to shave your head, do it, baby. Like, go for it. But like, you just had the perfect shaped head for it. Like,
Yeah, well, and
It
let's
was
just
weird.
say, like, you had the humor throughout too. Like,
Yeah.
you still had, like you said, oh, my dog is barking in the background. That's super distracting.
that's all right.
So now I lost my train of thought. So there's that.
Sense of humor.
Nope, it's gone.
No.
It's
Okay.
she done left the building.
Tell you, I have been trying to talk to Molly. Yesterday I did it. Today I did it. I literally would be mid sentence and nope, it's gone. I have no idea what
Right.
I was talking about.
Right. And what's funny is I always tell her, I was like, yeah, well, it was either not important or a lie. And that's what my
There you
grandma
go.
used to say all the time to me when I was
Yep.
like, I forgot it. She's like, well, it's not important. It was a lie.
Yeah.
Like, well,
like, I don't know. Yeah,
it
apparently.
probably fell in one of those categories.
Right. And it was probably the not important one because I try not to lie. My nose
Right.
grows. So, but yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you definitely had a sense of humor through the whole thing.
Yes.
Like, I mean, life is too short anyway to not have a sense of humor.
Mhm.
Like, but then when something like this happens, like, and speaking of sense of humor, so yes, my mom went through treatments in the summertime.
Yeah.
But of course, you had to wait, however long in between to do radiation. And of course, like, you still have the chemicals coursing through your body. So, your hair's not growing back.
Mm-mm.
So Halloween time, spooky season comes around. I love my mother. And, we went to Halloween. Now, again, this was back in 2017. So this was pre-COVID when we could still socialize with people. And, Uncle Fester and a broken dummy. Happy Halloween. So my mom went as Uncle Fester for Halloween.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
that.
Light bulb and all even lit up. Like, and
I love this picture. I think this is so awesome. And like you said in the beginning, you're still like taking your power back. Like, this is me running with a situation that might not be ideal, but look how much fun I'm having with it.
Yes.
Right. And then you even went as far as to go to work
Yes.
dressed as Uncle Fester
Yes.
for Halloween. Like, that's the whole office crew.
Oh my gosh.
Terrifying that the dentist is blind, but
Right.
but yeah, like, I mean, you have to have fun. Like, it's a shitty
Perfect
situation.
costume. I mean, I didn't have to worry,
Right.
about the whole hair thing.
Right. Like,
You didn't have to worry about like rolling your hair in rollers or anything.
No.
Well,
Didn't take me long to get ready in the morning
Right.
either. I like that.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not to mention, you totally won first place at the Halloween contest for the party we went to. So, I mean, who else is going to be able to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going through cancer treatments and I'm Uncle Fester. So,
We even have a picture at work hanging up of us dressed up that year. And like I said, like for work, I just matched my do-rag to my scrub top.
Yeah.
That was so much easier than going through the whole hair thing in the morning.
Which, speaking of, real quick, I'm going to throw this out there. So my mom shows up to my house tonight, right? And she's actually outside talking to the neighbor, and I go out because I'm like, did she get lost? Like, what is she doing?
Where'd you go?
Like, right? Because she literally texted me and said, "His Rexy in his pen." And I said, "Yep, he's good. Come on in." Reese had opened the door, and it'd been like 3-4 minutes. I'm like, my driveway's not that long. Like, where'd she go?
Right.
So I go out, and she's talking to the neighbor, and I say hello, of course. And I look over, and I'm like, why do we have the same hairstyle tonight?
Not planned.
Not planned at all. Like, she goes, I'm
Yo,
having
bro,
a bad hair day. I was like, me too.
I was looking at those pieces right there are white.
They are
They
white.
are blonde, girl. They are so
My
light.
hairstylist is great.
Yes, she is.
Hello.
but yeah, like, I mean, never wished for anything like that to happen. But when you told me that you don't have to worry about doing your hair and you didn't have to shave your legs,
Yo.
because you don't only just lose the hair on your head,
You lose it everywhere.
you lose it from head to toe.
Yes.
I mean, if I could go through anything not like this, but like through something to lose the hair on my legs, and I didn't have to shave my legs in the summertime.
Or you could just not shave. That is an option.
I do that for sometimes. So
we didn't start shaving as a society until like 1940 something, or maybe it was like the 20s or something like that. But look it up; it's crazy.
I'm just weird, and like, hey, if you don't want to shave, go for it. Like, rock it. It itches, and I don't like body hair.
I think it was the 40s. Now that I'm thinking about it.
She's still stuck on the
right.
But yeah, so
yeah,
there's that. And yeah, I was like, damn it. I have to get laser surgery. Like, well, not surgery, but like, I have to have it laser removed. And you're just like, I'm shaving my legs.
Right.
All right.
There are some perks.
Right. We don't endorse just, going out there and getting cancer. That's not what we're doing. However, there are some perks where you don't have to shave.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I want to pop up some more pictures because we have loads. Because
I like looking at pictures.
We totally, like, we didn't take pictures, I believe, because I don't have any and she doesn't have any. And I remember, Mom saying, let's not document this because it was a very private moment of,
Well, and that was
shaving
at
her
the
head.
beginning, and I wasn't
Yeah.
quite sure how I felt yet, about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Should be in the head, anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have any pictures or video. And if we do, my sister might, but we don't have any, but I don't think we do. But we documented pretty much everything else in the process.
Right.
So every single treatment that you had, somebody took a picture like this.
Yes, it's always had thumbs up.
Yep, always had thumbs up. And the 2 little stuffies were given to you by your niece, my little cousin. I think we determined she was like 6.
I think so.
At the time, and they were to keep her company.
Yeah.
Like, they were her stuffies, but she wanted Aunt Kim to have them, so she had someone to be with her during chemo.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
How
she didn't know what it
sensitive.
was.
Right.
But like, she didn't want her to be alone.
Yeah.
So there's that. But real quick, going off that picture, because you're in a hoodie, you're covered up with a blanket. Like, I know you had a bag that you took with you and someone gave to you.
Yes.
What, like, explain that. Like,
Well, I always took my own blanket. They would give you one there, of course, but I had one that was given to me, and you get chilly,
Right.
I mean, you're in a hospital. It's cold.
Well,
Yeah.
and like, because how long were these treatments each time?
Oh, I was there 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Now, granted, the treatment itself was not the whole 4 or 5 hours. I had to go have blood work done, wait for that to come back. Then I had to wait for them to get everything set up, get the medicine from the pharmacy, get me set up in one of their little chairs or in a room, whichever they had available for me that day. And then they would start, and I had to have they gave me a prednisone through my IV, through my port. They gave me Benadryl, and then I had 2 different types of cancer treatment medicine that went through my port. So usually once they started that, I think that was probably a good 3 hours.
Yeah. So that was about 3 hours or so.
That's still a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And granted, someone always went with me, which I was very grateful for, because now you can't have anyone with you, unfortunately.
COVID.
But yes, I always had a blanket, my own blanket. And the person that went with me, I felt sorry for, because usually an hour into it, if that, I'd fall asleep.
Well, they give you Benadryl.
Well, they give me Benadryl. So,
Yeah.
and I'm a wuss when it comes to that. Anything that says may cause drowsy,
It's going to
I'm
happen
out
to you.
in like 10 minutes.
I got it from her.
You know, so, but, and there they sat. Luckily, though, each little space where the chairs were had a TV, individual TV. So they did have TV to watch, or they'd take a book or whatever.
That's good.
I might open my eyes and say, oh, we're still here, and I'd go right back to sleep.
No, I carried you to the car.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
oh my
yes,
goodness.
I mean, and like I said, I took that same blanket with me the whole time, and I had the stuffies. And of course in my bag, I had a book, which I don't know why I took it, because I knew I'd always fall asleep. But
and just in case,
the idea.
In case, so.
Well, and one thing that I'll never forget is you always had, I think they were spearmint.
Yes.
Like those little lifesaver hard candies.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they helped with nausea, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she always had those. So I always knew if I needed to sneak one, I could sneak one out of her bag when she was sleeping. But to go off of that, so I remember a lot of people will say when going through chemo, food doesn't taste good. Right. They, they're not hungry, or they're upset stomach, and people will lose weight like crazy. Your issue, if I remember right, was food didn't have any taste, and you could taste the metal of the silverware.
Yes, I always had plastic silverware.
Oh,
Yes,
that would be an
because-
awful experience to taste the metal
Yes.
of the silverware.
Yeah, you
of
gotta
the-
take a taste
the
of food. And you,
glorious food you're eating.
yeah, and you can't taste the food, but you can taste the metal from the silverware.
Oh, what?
Mhm.
No. What?
Yeah.
So I always had plastic silverware in my
Not know
purse.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did get my sense of taste back, thank goodness.
Right.
Ooh.
Now,
Dang, yeah.
unfortunately, you do have some side effects
Okay.
from everything that you went through
Oh, of course.
that have not gone away.
Yes.
You want to touch
And
on
that
that a
would
little
be-
bit?
Neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
That's where your feet and hands, or maybe just your feet, but my hands aren't as bad as my feet. They're numb. They tingle.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the very beginning when my neuropathy didn't start until about like my next to the last treatment.
Which
Yeah.
we were so hopeful we were gonna make it through the whole
Yeah.
thing.
The whole time without it. Yeah.
And but my feet, I still have issues with my feet. I can't be on them for a long period of time, like walking, things like that, because it just gets to the point where they hurt.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find different shoes that might help. I think I have found some, this and that, but
Those sandals that you had on the summertime were super cute. I want a pair.
and
Now,
they help.
is there something you can do for that, or is there?
I am on some medication to help with I don't even know if I want to call it pain. I mean, yes, it is painful, but
Yeah.
I am on medication for that. I don't think it's going to get any better than it is right now. But
Right.
at the very beginning, when I first started with it, was so bad.
Oh,
I
man.
had to like literally watch where I was stepping because I couldn't feel my feet on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad it was. And of course, at
Wow.
that point, I'm into November, getting ready to start my radiation. And of course, I wanted to do Christmas shopping. I was afraid to go Christmas shopping because I was aware of what I was doing with my feet and where they were.
What other
I
people?
was worried someone would bump me. You know how everyone's in a hurry. at Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would lose my balance and fall.
Okay.
you
And then
know.
I'd have to, throw fists at the mall at Christmas
Right.
time.
But, and it is
Yeah.
better, but it'll never go completely away now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Dang.
I mean, you're here.
yeah. And
I-
I'm saying, yeah.
So,
Just gonna say that. Yeah.
yeah.
You're here.
Yeah,
What a
3.5
journey.
years. 3.5 years cancer free.
Wow.
Knock on wood.
Right. And they say, like, your first 5 years
5? Is it 5? I
Is-
thought,
yeah.
Mhm.
is like your holy grail, essentially.
Yeah, like once you get to 5,
Yeah.
it's pretty. The likelihood of you getting it is less
Yeah.
exponentially, right? Or getting it
Yes.
again, or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Now, one thing I will say, like after mom was diagnosed, I had to talk to a doctor because they were worried that I should start medication like preemptively
Mm-hmm.
because of
Yes. Well, my sister had to start
it. I was gonna say, but
medication.
my aunt, who has also been on the show, she did have to start medication.
Didn't you
For
have to take some sort of test for that or something?
I did a I don't even know what it's called. Essentially, it's like a cancer tree of your family.
Oh,
And
okay.
they take that information and they will look at it like genetically and see if you need to have further blood testing to see if you're predisposed to the genes
Okay.
of the same cancer. And because of the kind of cancer that my mom had,
Yeah.
I was what, type A or B? Like there's 2 different kinds.
Right.
I can't remember which one it
Guess
was.
I should have kind of looked at all my paperwork prior to tonight.
That's okay. But she had one kind where I wasn't predisposed to that. Now,
Okay.
I do have an aunt who has the other kind. But because that's on my maternal side, I didn't have to worry about it as much because it's more so passed on from what I took, and I could be completely wrong, so don't come for me if I am.
Right.
But it would be more possible for me to get it on my father's side.
Okay.
So I have an aunt on that side who went through all of the genetic testing, and she was not predisposed to the gene. So they came to the conclusion that I was not predisposed to the gene. However, I did find a
Wow.
lump.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So I had it biopsied. Everything's good. It's, of course I have to keep an eye on it, but I'm not predisposed to the gene.
Right.
So they're looking at it as you should be good.
Right.
Just keep an eye on it, but you should be good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a lot of information in that 2 minutes of space. I apologize about that.
No. I got it all. So
great. Somebody
That was
followed
good.
my ramble.
I totally was memorized. For fuck's sake. No. Mesmerized.
And this is why we say we are hot messes on this show.
4-letter word are my favorite words.
Yes.
I was totally mesmerized by that. And I was like, oh, I was so in tune with that story and I had so many questions.
Well, and the best thing was I happened to glance over and I saw you
I know, I was like
she's either lost or following me. I'm not sure.
Right? I know, because they're the same. If I'm lost or if I'm following, it's this.
But yeah, so again, I want to show a couple more pictures because we haven't showed them all because, like I said, we literally.
Ooh, let's do a
Photo
picture reel.
No, we didn't need a potty break. It's 8:56. I just realized what time it was. So look at us being grown ups, not needing a potty break for an hour podcast.
Miss
Anyway.
Hunter, can I go to the bathroom?
No, we're almost done. But so during this whole process of mom going through chemo and the family being there, my sister is a total adrenaline junkie. That's just her thing, and I can't wait to join her one of these years. But she does a demolition derby. For those of you who don't know what a demolition derby is, here in North Central Pennsylvania, they are super popular, and you literally take an old. It doesn't even have to be a junk car, but an older car that you're not going to be on the road on anymore. And you tear out all the windows and you move the gas tank and you do all this weird, crazy stuff. And then you drive into each other. And
you run into people and you race around trying to
as fast
win.
as you can until your car dies. And then you're done. And then everybody keeps going till their cars die.
It's the best version of go-karts or bumper cars, but with real cars.
Exactly. It's like bumper cars for adults with different rules.
But right.
So my sister is on the left and my mom and I, and that was her car. I think we determined it was in 2017. So that was the summer after my mom was diagnosed, and it was a huge breast cancer awareness car. So cool. It's kind of hard to see, but all along the side it has the ribbons.
Oh, sorry. You can see the ribbons.
Yeah. And then did it have anything else
behind our butts it has my birthday.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, that was her number.
Her number was her birthday.
It had a big ribbon, I think, on the hood. Or else the big ribbon was on top of the car. Maybe there was something else on the hood.
Didn't it say on top, fuck cancer?
It might have.
I think it did.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so there was that, and she totally kicked ass. And here's another picture from that same day. It's my mom and my Aunt Trudy. Because we all, of course, the car was for my mom, so we all went and celebrated. And unfortunately, didn't her car die 30 seconds into the demo?
Which wasn't very long, but that's okay.
But that's all right. She still kicked ass, and that's the important thing. And then this is just another picture of one of the random. I'm wearing my Team Kimmy shirt, and yes, my shirt is on backwards because you can't see it because it's on the back. So I would have looked totally.
Okay, I feel like nobody would have noticed had you not pointed that out.
Whatever.
But now they're like, "Girl, your shirt's on backwards."
I'm wearing pants. Okay, you can't ask for everything. At least I have pants on.
I was checking to make sure she had pants on. Did you see that?
She was like, "Wait, am I wearing pants?"
Sorry, Molly, it just came right out. I'm so sorry.
No, that was quick, Kim. You brought it. That was so good. It was the story I told when I was coming back from Oregon, right? I was so freaking tired the morning of. I just threw on a shirt and a sweatshirt in the middle of the airport, take off my sweatshirt, tie around my waist, and or walking really quickly, sit down finally because I get to my gate and realize that not only is my shirt backwards, the motherfucker is turned inside out.
Oh God.
Oh,
Gotta love it.
I mean, hot mess all the way around. That's just how
All the
we
way
roll.
around. So you have your shirt on backwards and I have no pants on right now.
Just
Just kidding, I do.
So Reese apparently remembers. She can't remember, to take something to you to work, but says technically the car was still running. The shifter jammed and she couldn't switch gears. Thanks, honey.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
Right, exactly. But, well, I mean, we made it through an entire show without a potty break.
Yo.
And
That's
it
something.
is 9:00. So we always end our show with, something that we're thankful for or we're happy about or something, that we want to shout out someone
Something
for.
positive.
Right, because this world's full of so much bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to keep it positive. So, Molly, do you want to go first? Or
Every
Mom go
time.
first? I can have Mom
Every
go
time.
first.
Okay. I was going to say, every time she does this to me, she's like, Molly, why don't you go ahead and go first? Catches me off guard, and I'm like, I'm making this one up today. Like,
we end our show this way every show.
I know. You'd think I'd be prepared, but
put little notes, stick them to your computer so you can have them ahead of time.
remember it. Yeah. Of course I love you too.
Actually, I have a feeling you're going to make us both cry, aren't you?
No, I'm just going to stick up this sign.
Okay, well, let's save that till the end.
Okay.
Because then we'll just go into our outro from that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll start.
Yeah.
I am super thankful that you have instilled in me the fuck life, like grab it by the horns and ride it till it's over, like never give up and just do it.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, you don't have a choice. Like, yeah, life has dealt us some really shitty hands. And, I had a conversation with someone that was like, you've been through so much shit. Why you? Why you and your mom? Why your family? And I said, honestly, because we can do it.
Yeah.
We can handle it. Yeah, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like, it totally sucks. But not you, because we're stronger and we can do it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. Just, we got this.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, and I'm a firm believer in your life may be the shittiest it's ever been right now, and your hand is stacked against you, and it just feels like it's never going to get better. But we're only given what we can handle.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
And as much as it may suck, you're going to get through it. You just have to keep pushing. You can't give up.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful that you've instilled that in me, because, I mean, even as an adult, I've been through some really shitty things, and you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And here we are today on a podcast, talking about
seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to get through it, and it sucks, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if you're going through shitty things and, your life is just a mess, keep pushing.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
They say, like, there's a song, like, if you're going through hell, keep on going, or something along those lines. Like, it's so true, though. It's cliche, but you just keep going, because you will find that happiness that all of this turmoil is leading to.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Molly, your turn. Catch off guard.
No, but I don't want to follow that.
She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to follow me. She doesn't want to start.
No, that was so good. Like, I wasn't prepared. You know this, so now I gotta crap. Okay, no. Positive. Actually, a lot of positive things this week were really good for me. In the sense of, like, my stress wasn't there, and that was really nice. Um,
Right, because your big craziness is over, so you can just.
I know. And again, like, I think I say this every time, but I think it's an important thing. But I'm so glad for the community that I have. You said it during the episode that a lot of uplifting came from your community. They were there, people at your work, and you can even make like co-communities at work, and then you have like your family community. But like, I'm just thankful that I have that too, and you had that, and I'm glad you were on the show and we were able to hear your story.
No, it's glad to be here.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what followed you, Cassie. Yours was better.
No, I mean, I think it's great though, because we talked about before the show, and I talked to my mom yesterday. I said, "Are you going to be okay telling your story?"
Yeah.
Because it is a very personal story.
Absolutely.
And she was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I hope it touches somebody and helps them in a way that they didn't know they needed.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show that, like I said, women are strong as fuck, dude. We go through some shit. We get dealt shit. People treat us like shit. I'm saying shit because it's my favorite word. But, like, listen. And then not only do you get shit on your daily basis, but then, like, your outside shit, like, you're getting cancer and, like, just your husband's leaving you, your kids, whatever, doing, and you went through it and you fucking just said, fuck that. I'm going to do it and come out the other end.
Yep.
So awesome.
Yep. All right. So Mom has one last thing for us to show, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. So I'm going to say we'll see you next week. Oh, whatever. We're 6 minutes over. I don't care. But I'm going to say we'll see you next week because we're going to zoom in on this, and then we'll call it a night. So next week is spooky season. So I don't know what I'm going to do or what Molly's going to do, but
I'm going to find it.
out. All right, everybody, take a look at this and we will see you next week. Hold it up.
Yep.
Cancer touched my breast, so I kicked its ass.
Whoa.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.